Welcome to the new episode of the Mind Body Revolution podcast. Today, I am joined by the loving and intuitive Loni MacMaster, certified energy healer, artist, and author whose work is helping women reconnect with their true selves from the inside out. In this episode, Loni shares how her own difficult past led to a powerful awakening, the moment she stopped living on autopilot and finally stepped into who she was meant to be. She breaks down why so many women feel stuck, disconnected, overwhelmed, or emotionally blocked, even when they're doing all the right things. Loni explains how stress and constant pressure quietly show up in the body, what your symptoms are trying to tell you, and why now is the time to stop pushing through and finally start paying attention. She also reveals the simple practices that can shift your energy in just minutes. Grounding, breath work, and using art and color as powerful tools to release emotions you've carried for years. If you're ready to feel balanced, grounded, and reconnect to your authentic self, this episode will open the door. All right, so welcome back to our newest episode of Mind Body Revolution. I am joined today by the wonderful Loni MacMaster, self-healer, artist, author, so many things going on for you. Loni and I met probably 10 years ago now at our previous job. So I was in HR, she was in operations, went our separate ways, but recently reconnected via social media and just we have a lot in alignment with what we're working on. And here we are. So Loni, good morning. Welcome. Great to have you.
My goodness, it's so good to be here. I am so excited that we reconnected. It's amazing how people come back into your life when it's meant to be and that they were in your life prior to just to reconnect now. And I feel so blessed to have you in my life already. We were just talking about, that you do yoga, and I'm always looking for people at my retreats to do, facilitate some things like that. So that's amazing too. Yeah. So thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome. So let's just dive right in. So, before you became an author and a healer, what really first drew you toward the arts and the healing space? And when did you realize it was really more of an interest for you, that it was truly your life calling?
Well, 7 years ago, approximately, I came to the conclusion that in my life, I was just waking up, going to work, coming home, cooking dinner, and doing all the things that a lot of people are doing today. A lot of people just go with the flow, raising a family and everything else. 7 years ago, I realized that for some reason, there was this little voice in the back of my head that said that there was more to life. There was more to me. There was a gift inside of me that I knew I had to tap into, which I needed to remember because I always had it there. I just didn't know how to access it. So I started reading books on spirituality and starting to go to different retreats and different schools to teach myself how to heal myself. And that's honestly the best portion of it, is to start accessing who you are before you can help others. And if we don't understand who we are, we don't have the access entirely for others. So I just started to get some schooling in energy healing. And then in the process of those schoolings, they also teach you how to heal yourself. And that was a huge thing for me because I had a lot of trauma in my past, as we all do.
Right.
And yeah, so doing a lot of that healing work was really intense. But my mission now is to take all the things that I have learned and be able to give it to other people so they don't have to go through all of the things that I had to in order to learn from it. I now can access and understand how I can teach somebody how to do it really simply. We think that healing process is really grueling and hard, and I don't want to bring up the old stuff because it hurts so much. That's why I shoved it down. Now I just want to help people to understand it's literally tapping into your higher state of mind and your higher self or your future self, not going back to the past self, because the past self is actually the one that we've been playing the record over and over and over again. And we can't do anything about that back there, but we can do stuff about this over here. And the only way to make effect in the future is to access the present. The only time that we can shift and change anything is right now, in this current moment, you and I talking. or
Yeah.
just saying, I love myself, and holding your heart space and saying, I love myself in this moment. This is who I am. I love the way I look. I love the way I feel. I love who I've become. I have a lot of trauma and pain to process, but I am who I am because of that pain. And
Exactly.
all the things that were like, oh my God, I can't believe I went through that. And you start to realize that you had to go through that in order to help others. Because if you didn't go through those pains, you wouldn't know how it felt in your own body. You wouldn't know how the emotion felt. So you wouldn't be able to now access that in another person. That's my mantra now, is I'm so grateful for all the stuff that happened to me in my past, because now I understand how it feels in somebody else's body, and I can now help them through energy work. Now I can help them through mentoring, talking through things, and really fulfilling their goals and their gifts and opening up to their gifts, because
That's
we all want to
awesome.
open up to our gifts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
So,
mean, our past, we all have shit, right? You wanna keep it. We
mm,
become like pros at compartmentalizing things, but it is so important to remember we could wish all those things didn't happen to us, but if they didn't, we wouldn't be who we are today. We wouldn't be
hmm
that same person. If I didn't gain a bunch of weight and hate the way I looked in my energy space, I wouldn't have started investing a ton of time and education into my health. And if I didn't get burnt out at a corporate job, I wouldn't have taken the leap to start a business and, host this podcast. So all those trials, they're there for a reason. It sometimes takes a long time to understand that reason and have it come to fruition for you, but it will. Like, you kind of just got to trust the process.
Yeah, yeah, and exactly what you said is like in the moment of actually doing it, and well, in the moment of afterward, when you're like, oh, now I can see that back
Yeah.
there where I lost all the weight so I could help others, and then I stopped working a corporate job so I could have this job in your mindfulness business. And that's the huge win in our journeys. It's so
Yes.
exciting when you realize, and you're awakened at that point. You're already enlightened, and you are expanding beyond what a lot of people are even at right now. So now that's your mission, to expand the rest of the world, to give your gift, to make that ripple effect. So it's
Definitely.
beautiful.
And that's what we're doing this morning.
Yeah.
And a big part of what you really focused on when you got into that healing space is the study and practice of chakras. And a lot of people may have heard of chakras, some may have no idea what we're talking about, but you teach on them, you heal them. You wrote a book, Chakra Balancing for Healing, which, by the way, you can get on Amazon. Highly recommend it. I have it, I love it, I reference it, and it is written truly in a way that you can understand it. You don't have to already have the knowledge to be able to understand what you're saying in that. But was there a defining moment for you? I know we talked a little bit about having past trauma, but burnout or loss or some sort of personal awakening that drew you specifically towards the chakra space and helped you see that real connection between our bodies, our energy, and the earth?
Yeah, I'm trying to think like an actual turning point. It was just a click. It almost like clicked in the back of my head, like there's something more to this life. I was not balanced in any way, shape, or form prior to this. There's a lot of people that like I look back at myself and I'm like, ooh, that was not the Lonnie I am now. And I'm like, a lot of people still say, even back then, I could see your light. And at that time I couldn't see my light. And now I'm like, oh yeah, I always had the light in me, and the ability to teach and everything. But at some point in time you realize you either have a switch, or like you said, there's a lot of times when people have like what I call the awakening, a trauma, a divorce, a death, an accident, something like that, that really switches them on to, oh, there is more to life. For me, I had all of my lessons, I hate to call them lessons, but all of my lessons earlier on in my youth and into my 20s and partially into my 30s. And then somewhere around in my 30s, I started to be like, okay, there's something clicking. So all the trauma happened, and then I was flowing into it. I always, as a child, and a lot of people are going to connect to this, either they already understand and know this, or something's going to click for them. When you were a child, you already did have your gift, and you may have shut it off, whether it was scary for you, whether it was scary for your family, whether it was something that even, well-meaning family, friends, guardians and parents and teachers and stuff like that, you may have ran up to them like, I see colors, I see auras around people, or, I see people in my bedroom and I talk to them at night,
Yep.
and that's you connecting to the other side. Some people believe in that, some people don't, but little children, they're very connected to those things. And then over time you lose that. So I want to help people remember their true gift, because we shut it down at some point. Not all of us, but some of us do. And so in saying that, I hope that some people are like, oh, when I was a kid, when I was 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever, I remember blah blah blah. It could be anything, and it was your intuition, your gift, so that you could create a life for yourself that would be able to coincide, so that you could help others.
Yep.
And again, I'm helping people remember that. You're helping people remember that. We are all going to help people remember that, and that's the gift that we all give each other, but we all have a specific one. Mine was, my mother had a lot of depression, and I remember as a child just putting my hand on her back and rubbing the backside of her heart chakra, just, and I didn't realize what I was doing. But now that I look back, I was literally healing her heart space, because she was sad, and she would actually within minutes feel better. And I was a very small child at this time.
That's awesome.
And I did that for years. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, that was a gift I had. Da, 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 da. My mom couldn't provide that for me, so I provided it for her,
Yep.
and then other things that with the chakras, I can see them, and I didn't know that I could do this at an earlier age until, again, later on. And actually in the past 5 years, it's gotten stronger. As you use your gift, it's going to get stronger and stronger and
Yep.
stronger. And you're going to connect more with the universe and the earth. Like you said, the earth is part of this, the energy of the earth, the energy of us. Everything is energy. So we all interconnect, and that's where we do the healing process. So the chakras, if you look at my book, there's 7 energy centers within the body, and there's others. We have chakras in our hands, because like I said, I use my hands also for helping others. But we have 7 chakras that are the main ones, and those can be imbalanced. So if you can't speak your truth, there's a throat chakra, and that throat chakra may be imbalanced. And usually when I find somebody's imbalanced in their throat chakra, I find that they're imbalanced in their heart as well. Usually all of them are imbalanced in some way, but oftentimes if you can't speak your truth, you're not able to speak through your heart, through your throat and out.
Yep.
So balancing those areas, people are actually able to speak their truth after. And that's a huge thing for women.
Amazing.
Men as well. I mean, oftentimes men can't cry because they've been shut down from that too. So, they close it off.
Yep.
And that hurts. You don't realize how much it hurts. But after you have the release of being able to do it again, you're like, oh, that's what I was missing. So yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you find that it can be challenging to have these conversations with people to get them to understand, without making them feel like maybe they're doing something wrong, but like, you have this block and that's why it's happening, because it's not something necessarily they can see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. There's a lot of people, oftentimes when people ask the question or come to me, they're ready to say that I want to release this. So usually I don't have to explain it too much, but I'll have to say there's never anything wrong with you if something is shut off in your body. There's never anything wrong with you because you shoved feelings. It was something that you were taught so that you could protect yourself, and your subconscious is protecting you. Your ego is protecting you. The ego and the subconscious are not bad. They're just protecting you so that when this occurrence happens again, you shut down, you withdraw, and your body also physically withdraws. Certain organs might shut down, or, if you have heart issues, or if your shoulder hurts, or if your neck hurts, all these things, all these pains within your body is imbalances in your chakras. So what happens is, in my belief system, is when a chakra is off, it's a warning signal for you. It'll tap you on the shoulder. Your higher self will be like, hey, something's wrong. you probably should fix this, or you should probably speak up and or do this project that makes you feel happy and excited. And then they're like, oh, what if I fail? Or the things that come up in our heads, right?
Yep.
We were talking about this earlier. We get nervous about something, we withdraw, and we're like, nah, I'd rather not, because we've
Yep.
had that experience in our childhood at some point in time, right? Well, what it is that feeling, the tapping on the shoulder, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Well, over time, the energy centers in our body can't warn us anymore. And they're like, okay, we need to knock on the door a little bit louder. And then you'll start have shoulder pain or a neck pain, like I said. And so it comes into the physical body. And when it comes into the physical body, then it's the, it'll knock on the door until it gets worse and worse, worse. And then we're like, oh, I have to do something about it. Or we catch a cold,
Yep.
or we get the flu, or whatever it is. If you think about it, if you overwork yourself, you're going to get sick. That you're just, you overdo it. Oh, got a flu. Well, that's just yourself. No, you already knew. You already had it in your head that I'm going to get sick if I don't chill out here.
Yep.
And that's just, there's a voice in everybody's head that tells them exactly what they need to do. And I help people to tap into that voice so that they can hear it more clearly and they can follow it. And when you follow it, you're not in the rowboat going backwards up the river. You're taking the oars and you're putting them in the boat, and you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm floating along now. And you're allowing and you're trusting. And that's how life should be.
Yep.
So
definitely. And if you compare your life before you had that shift to now, so Loni, pre being tuned into your body's energy, pre-understanding, pre-connecting, what feels most different for you?
Everything. Oh my God. So I was the best victim. I played the best victim anybody could ever experience. I was the victim of my relationships. I was the victim of just everything that happened in my life. And I allowed for that. And I truly, truly thought that I was being not punished. I never thought I was being punished. I was like, yep, this is happening to me again. Yep, this is how my life is. Not realizing and knowing that I could make action to make shift within myself, in my mind first. I had to make a decision and say, okay, I'm not going to allow this to control me anymore. And then switch that off and then go into the healing mode of, well, where did this come from? What was the root cause of why I played the victim? And then from that point, I was able to go back to my past, go back to my childhood. Okay, well, I remember my mom and dad fighting a lot. Okay, well, maybe that's why my relationships aren't working now. So where did that stem from? Or depression, my mom, anger, my father, all the things that you tap into from your mom, dad, schooling, everything else, religion, everything is going to come with you. And we didn't heal that back here because we didn't know how. We didn't have the tools. We were dealing with the tools that our parents gifted us.
Yep.
And they were doing their best. That's all the tools that they had. And whether you had really good parents or really not so good parents or in between, they were giving you the tools, all that they had. They thought they were doing the best that they could. And you can't fault them for that.
We
And
want to, but
exactly. But that's really ultimately what it was. They had parents that probably weren't the best parents for them, and then they took on those things. And so now is our time, even if you have kids or not. Now is the time to shift so that if you do have kids, you are the person that gets to change the lineage. You change the energy of the lineage, you change the person and the tools and everything else. You're going to shift your children. You're going to shift the next generation, whether it's yours or not. You're going to shift the people around you. And when you shift yourself from victimhood, from I can't to I will, I am this person, I am not this anymore.
Yep.
You shift the world when you make an ultimate decision to be selfless. You might think it's selfish. People around you might think it's selfish at first.
Yep.
Because you need to train them to know that there's a new you. So everybody's going to be a little off for a while.
Yep.
While you're doing your healing work. And then once you're again, you teach them who the new you is, which was very hard for me. It actually caused me to have a divorce. and caused me other things to happen in my life because I was like, no, 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 this is the new me. This is the new me. But
Yep.
actually, it's not the new me. It's the old me was the one that everybody was trying to say, this is how you're supposed to be, Lonnie. This is how you're supposed to be. And I was
Yep.
following. It wasn't my truth.
Yep.
But when you shift, there's going to be things that come up. There's going to be a lot of push away. There's going to be friends that fall away. There's going to be family
Yep.
that falls away. Possibly. I mean, it doesn't have to happen to everybody. But what's beautiful about that is the new friends come in
Yep.
that align with your vibration. The new
Yes.
family, whether it's family that is actually blood or not, it's family.
Yep. Yep.
And your whole world shifts. Oh my God, it's amazing. So that's what I've experienced is like from the victim to now, I am a total shift. I'm like from over here and I'm over here.
Yep.
And all I can see is my future. And I'm okay
Yes.
with whatever that ends up being,
Yep.
as long as it's with love.
Yep.
And every present moment, every moment that I just even in the past couple of weeks, I don't know if you felt this shift, but in the past couple of weeks I've like felt this huge shift happen where I'm unstoppable. I can't not do the things that are offered to me, like having this podcast with you. I got a
Yep.
little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. My stomach was
Right?
rumbling a little bit. Hair was sticking up on the back of my head. But here we are, and
Yep.
it's just amazing, and I'm so grateful for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's something going on these last couple weeks that it's just possibilities are popping up. And
yeah.
even when we talked just the other day, and I'm like, I've been thinking about asking you, I'm still not really sure how to do this. And you just start
Oh,
to say yes. Yes, I'm going to take that
yeah.
opportunity. Yes, I'm going to, and however it works out, it works out. Because it's either going to move me forward or it's going to help me understand how to move forward. And
Yeah.
when you start to become in tune with that, it's crazy the possibilities and the momentum that starts to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It propels you. And just as you just said, um, in noticing when I say yes to something, whatever you call it, God or universe, I call it universe, the
Yep.
energy. Universe provides me with the next thing. And it's like, oh, you did that? Here you go. Here's the next best thing, Lonnie. And I'm like, oh my God. I feel more abundant. I feel more vibrant. I feel more energy. Like all the things, even healing modalities pop in for me. Like people like you even said that you do yoga. I'm like, oh, that's great. I would love to take one of your classes,
Yep.
or or at my retreat in December, there's this beautiful soul that's going to be there. She's a psychic medium, and she's going to be painting rocks and giving you a reading. I would have never come across her if I didn't say I go to this holistic fair in Freeport, and I found her, and she was the ultimate one that I was drawn to. And so there was a person that was going to have a retreat with me. There's so many things. I'm just mind blown with if you say yes and you take your fear out of the mix and just do it in the moment. And if you're excited about something, don't wait. You do it that second. You say, I'm doing this right now.
Yep. And I love that you called out the fact that other people around you as you go through this change, they are going to think it's selfish. They might even tell you that you're being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
But don't let that stop you, because
Mm-hmm.
that fear, whether it's true that you have somebody telling you that or you make up your own movie, right? That if I start doing this, people are going to think this, stops us from so many things. And why, especially for women, we don't take the time to invest back in ourselves because we feel like we have to take care of everybody else first. And if we do
Mm-hmm.
take care of ourselves first, then we're not being something to somebody.
So along those lines, it's kind of a beautiful thing. I've been now with my husband for 21 years, and I still call him my husband. We did get a divorce. But with what you said, people will say that they're not who they married because I wasn't the person he married. But very shortly after, he had an awakening himself. And he was a very resistant individual, very resistant. And he's a shift. He's a totally different person now than he was before, because I had to make certain stern decisions in my life and say, I love you, but I can't not be me because you don't want me to be me.
Yep.
And I had to make that decision. When that decision was made, within a few weeks after, maybe a couple months, we got back together. And we've been together since. So it was just a matter of him understanding, or your family members understanding, or your friends understanding. If they're ready to follow through and go with you, never force them. Because I tried that at the beginning of my awakening. It's like, Jason, you can be so much happier. And he's like, I'm happy. What do you mean? He didn't know. He was happy. He was happy with who he was in his journey. It wasn't his journey to shift for me.
Right.
It was my journey to shift for me. And then whoever wanted to be in the same vibration and the same frequency as I was going with, then they will be with me. And he
Yep.
decided that he wanted to be with me. And I am so grateful for that, because now he and I are just inseparable. And what a loving
Awesome.
relationship now, that was tenfold what it was before, because I did the work to shift into remembering who I was.
Yep.
So always remember, be authentic, do what you can to be who you truly are. Go to that calling of, I know who I am, and not following. In my childhood, I was told to do this and this and this. Well, through the healing work, you realize that I'm an adult now. I get to make my own choices. I don't have to follow that anymore.
Yep.
I now can be who I need to be.
Yep. And trust that if there are people that you're going to outgrow, it's okay.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
like you said, there's going to be, they may eventually grow with you and catch up, or you're going to open yourself up to so many more people that are going to benefit you in so many ways.
Yes, I
Awesome.
love that. Thank you for saying that and saying that statement for everybody to understand, because that's huge. I tell my friends and my sister and my clients the same thing that you just said, and it just settles so well in your soul, because so many people are fearful of losing the people
Yeah.
that they've had since high school, or the people that they had for a few years, 10 years, whatever it is. You're
Yeah.
like, but that's my friend. I have to hold on to him.
Yep.
It's okay. It's okay. You're serving them, actually. You're
Yep.
serving them by making a decision for yourself. They're going to see, whether they do it now or later, they're seeing you grow, and they're like, who is that person? And if you're growing, you're becoming a better version of yourself with pure love. There's nothing but goodness that can come out of that. And so
100%.
whether they in that moment follow you or not, you are an amazing example to the world
Yep.
and to your friends and family.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yep.
And for the women who are listening, who they're curious what we're talking about, right? They're still here, they're listening, but they might be a little bit skeptical of the self healing or the chakra work. What would you say to help them really understand it or even experience it in a way that's maybe a little more grounded for them?
Okay. Let me hold on to that for a second. Let me
Yeah.
just play with that in my head. I'm trying to think of something that we do on a daily basis. I mean, for instance, we oftentimes take a deep breath. We go, and then even when we're anxious, we take a deep breath. When we're having an anxiety attack, they say, breathe into a bag and do it a few times. You know what I mean? Breath work is the life of us. So when we take a deep breath, all of a sudden our body calms down, and we're able to feel our heart space, and our belly's not just so, hurting anymore. The breath is a huge part of that. That's energy. We are all energy, and we feel it and experience it. This is the experience that I try to share with people. So if you walk into a room and there's a group of people in there, or just even one person, it doesn't matter. You walk in and you feel something's not right here. There's a little bit of heaviness in the room. You feel that. Everybody has experienced that when they've walked into a room. Or you go visit a friend, or you see them in the grocery store or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you go from mundane life, blah blah blah, and then you see them, and you shift and change, and you're like, oh, and I just got goosebumps, and you get excited, and that's a shift in your energy. And so feeling the energy of the room, feeling the energy of a person is exactly what energy healing or energy work is. I don't like to use the word healing, because you are healing yourself through it, but I'm
Yep.
not. When I do the work for you, I'm not doing the work for you. I'm actually facilitating, or a conduit for you to heal yourself. And that's the beauty of that. I just want to confirm that whenever you get work done by an energy worker, it's you doing the work. You were ready. If you go to an energy worker, or if you want to heal yourself through reading a book or whatever it is, you're actually doing the work because you picked up the book. You watched
Right.
the YouTube video. You went to that person. So I just want to clarify that.
Yep.
So that being said, walking to the room, you feel the energy in yourself. You're not that person. You felt that energy from that person, and you might feel it in your power center, which is just below your diaphragm and above your belly button. Oftentimes we feel it there, and that's what the gut punch is, or
Yep.
something's happening here, right?
Yep.
Or if you're sad, sometimes your heart space is, feels heavy. Another thing is I always use this with everything. I have some of my videos on my Facebook and stuff as well. Puppies and kittens. Think about puppies and kittens.
Yep.
Nobody cannot love them. So you think about puppies and kittens and the love that you have for them, and then you can just almost feel the excitement, like build that excitement in your heart space, or people that you love, or anything that makes you happy, a place that you like to travel to, or an exciting trip. You get excited, you feel it in your heart
Yeah.
space. Or think of a situation. I usually start with this one and then go to the other one because I want you to be happy after. But think of a situation that really makes you feel like let's say my divorce, or something that in the past, at work has made you feel really heavy. Like,
Yep.
oh, geez, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I wish my boss wouldn't have done that. So think of something in this moment that has made you feel sad, resentful, angry. And you'll find the expression of your body. You'll fold your shoulders in because you're protecting your heart. You'll kind of round your shoulders. You'll put your head a little bit down, and you'll feel this heaviness in your chest space. Right. And then again, puppies and kittens. Let's think about that one again. So,
Yep.
so you bring that happiness back in. So I want to leave with that. So you feel the emotion from that resentment, anger, and then you can literally within seconds shift from that to, oh my God, I'd love to hold a puppy. Oh my God, the
Yep.
breath. I like the breath of them. I don't know. Some people are like, that's disgusting, but I'd like perfume with that stuff. So anyway, oh my God, they're so adorable. And if they suck on your thumb, or, you just
Yep.
think about all the things. You just think about what that experience would be. You get excited, and it makes you feel happy. So
Yeah.
I want people to understand that you can go literally from anger and resentment. Well, what can I do to get out of the state of mind? I can literally think of something that makes me feel really good. My
Yep.
family, my kids, my trip that I'd like to take or that I'm going to be taking, whatever it is, it's just something that can replace the other thing. Because like I said before, we play the same record over and over and over again. And the reason why we get upset or triggered by something and it hits us in the heart space or in the solar plexus, which is our power center, is because our subconscious is trying to protect us. So it's saying, let's put something in place here. We're going to put a trigger there so that you back away or you get angry or whatever it is. And that happened in childhood. That's your protection. That's what it's doing.
Yep.
So it's okay now. It's safe now. You can put down those walls.
Yep.
It is safe for us as adults now. We don't have to bring up those things anymore. So that's come in place with replacing it with something that is more joyous and happy and love. And once you do that, you just practice that. And your subconscious will understand that as you practice that, this is the new record we're playing. We're playing meditative music, not I don't know, heavy metal.
The
Not that heavy
screamo
metal's bad.
music.
I'm just saying, some people that it makes them happy, but some people it's like, oh my God, shut that stuff up.
Right.
But meditative music, right? But we all can find peace in the meditative music, and that's what the
Yep.
love is. You bring that in, and it settles your whole system, your whole body,
Yep.
and that is energy. That's a pure example that everybody, all the women that are listening to this podcast, men or whoever, we all have the same energy centers.
Yep.
We all experience the same feelings and emotions. We all have them. That's a great example of what it is and how it can shift. And that is the chakras in their working mode. And it's crazy how quickly you can shift that. And that's what I'm trying to teach people is you don't have to heal through all of this and let it release. And it's gonna, you're gonna have some teary moments. You're gonna have some crying. And I'm not saying all of it's easy. I'm just saying once you start the process, it just kind of ripples and you put into your everyday mantra, or you just say to yourself, I am going to be this, creating a mantra for yourself, saying,
Yep.
I choose not to think in the way that I used to. I now choose in the way that I want to be. This is who I am now. I am, and always say I am to
Yep.
create the new life that you want and desire. And just say it with love and light. And I'm telling you, it does work. And sometimes it's baby steps at first, and then you're just going to see
Right.
this opening like I did. I mean, I've been in this for some 2018, so 7 years, is that 7 years? I think I feel it's like
Yep.
that's when it kind of happened. It took quite a few years of up and down, but then when you get to a certain point, it's like it's not the dips aren't as deep and they're not as long of
Right.
dips. And then you start to like, oh, happy, happy, happy. And anybody that knows me as a friend, as an acquaintance, as a coworker, as a family member, they're like, Lonnie's always happy. Is there something wrong with her? Because literally, I mean, I live my life on this high.
Yep.
And it's just
Beautiful.
balancing yourself and remembering who you truly are. And again, that's what I want to teach others. I love this work because it's not work. It's like, it's play. I'm playing. It's what we're
Beautiful.
supposed to be.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And when we think about today's world, because it can be crazy right now. We as women were conditioned to believe that feeling overwhelmed and being stressed out and burnt out and tired, it's just part of being a woman, right? It's part of being a mom, it's part of being a wife, whatever that is that you identify with. How can having that chakra awareness help us to reframe those feelings from it doesn't have to be something that we push through anymore, but it's that message from your body that something needs to be taken care of?
Yeah, exactly what you said at the end. It's a message from our body that things need to be taken care of. Whether you believe in the chakra system, in the energy system, or anything, your body's going to tell you something. It's going to have a stomach ache. It's going to have an ulcer. It's going to have, like I said before, a knee ache, a shoulder ache, an ankle ache. All these things I truly believe are from emotions that you just shove down. And what you said before was most women, if not yeah, most women will do whatever they can to put everybody else first and put themselves second. It's time to put yourself first because the only
Yes.
way that everybody else can be at a place where they need to be is for you to put yourself first. And then
Yes.
you get to be the healed one to heal the others. Because if you tap yourself out, you can't help anybody. If
Yep.
you're tapped out and you have no energy and, if you don't do the self-care and whatever that means to you, it could be 5 minutes in the morning doing meditation. It could be 5 minutes in the morning doing yoga. It could be a massage. It could be, breath, just breathing, just going out on the lawn. I know right now it's going to be pretty cold,
Right.
but in Maine anyway, but setting your feet on the ground or just laying in the grass or just going for a walk. That is self-care.
Yep.
Getting away from the stressful parts, honoring that,
Yep.
being able to just consciously understand your body and saying, I'm going to listen to this right now before I break down, get sick, whether it's cold, flu, or break a bone, or,
Yep.
the reason why we break bones is because our body is weak in that area. Not everybody that falls is going to break an ankle or a hip. It's
Yep.
because we held emotion in that space. We didn't mean to. We just shoved it and it went to wherever it felt like the least resistance was. And it might be in your knee, it might be in your shoulder, wherever it goes to. But if we start releasing those things by honoring what it's saying and resting, breathing, walking, going to a place where there's water, a lake, pond, waterfall,
Yep.
whatever it is, try to experience that. And if you live in the city, if you can't get out of, your apartment because you got kids and everything, or whatever it
Yep.
is, put on some videos on YouTube. There's these beautiful waterfalls with meditation. So just give yourself 5 minutes before the kids wake up in the morning or when they go to bed at night. I know sometimes it's not the greatest time because you're exhausted or you don't want to wake up early because you got a lot going on. But I'm telling you, it is so worth it. I used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to exercise. I'm sure you've done that too
Yep.
before, Sierra.
Gotta get it in.
Oh, yeah, because I
Yep.
had to go to work at 4 o'clock. I had to get up at, I had to do all the things.
Yep.
So just honoring that, and it sometimes it sucks, but I tell you, it's so worth it. So
Yep.
worth it. So I hope I answered your question in that aspect. But
Yeah, and honestly, the next one I was gonna ask was for the women who are constantly on, right? You've got the work, you've got the
mm,
family, it's everybody else's needs. I love that you very specifically said to intentional or not, 5 minutes. That's all you need. Like, this does not have to be some big elaborate thing that we look at as it's something else to add to our schedule. Literally everybody, I don't care who you are, I don't care who's gonna, blow up the comments or one of my mom's friends is going to listen to this and call her and say, "Is she crazy?" Everybody has 5 minutes.
yeah.
And if
Yep.
you intentionally use that 5 and if you have to, and I had to do this at the beginning, put it in your calendar.
Mm,
It may not
yep.
be always the ideal time when that reminder pops in, but you can move it or it at least plants that seed that, "Yep, I gotta take 5 minutes. I just need to do that breath work really quick." And it is worth the dividends that you get from it,
Hmm.
and it's something like, especially with the nervous system, like cold exposure. Now, being somebody who lives in Maine, you would think I don't mind the cold. Freaking hate the cold, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm the person who still wears the hoodie in the summer because I'm like, it's not quite hot enough for me yet. But you do things like cold showers, and in the
Hmm.
moment, that's the worst minute to minute and a half of my day. Right? I dread it the entire time. But when it's done, what you get back from it, it was
Mm.
worth that minute, 90 seconds worth of discomfort to get, the 23 hours and 58 minutes back. That's going to be amazing.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. That is so it's so funny that you say that because it is that short of a period of time for you to do the healing, for you to experience the rest of it.
Yep.
It literally is that. And thank you for sharing that because I hate the cold too. I'm like, absolutely. And cold showers and ice baths, I'm like, there must be a different way for me to heal here.
Right, there's gotta be a better
But
way.
good for you. Oh my God. Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that's, being vulnerable is a huge thing.
Yes.
And it's hard. It's hard being vulnerable and admitting to and I'm going to admitting I know I'm kind of switching the subject, but I feel like vulnerable is also part of admitting our faults. And when we admit our faults, it also opens us up to our truths.
Yes.
So us
Beautiful.
going through that process. Like I said, I used to play the victim. I had to say I am a victim. I'm playing that victim
Yep.
and then saying it and saying, "I don't wanna be that anymore." I got to shift into the next level. So, I'm
Yep.
sorry I kinda went off track, but on track, I
No,
guess,
keep going. Keep going.
but yeah, I feel like, the ice baths, the healing work and everything else helps you to understand the fight or flight. So the fight or flight, it's you're gonna fight for this or you're gonna run away from it. And I think you hit it on the spot where with the ice baths or cold showers, it's only 60 seconds of what you would call the fight.
Yep.
And then you get the journey after that. You've been vulnerable, you stuck with it, you went through it, now you're ready for the next part of your journey. And if you keep that up, your body's gonna understand you don't have to run anymore. You don't
Beautiful.
have to be frightened. Yeah, you don't have to fear anything. I mean, yeah, I got a little nervous about this podcast. Yeah, I get a little nervous about other things, and then I'm just like, dive straight into it, right?
Yep.
But I'm learning that the flight is not fun. It's constraining, it's fear. But once I open up and take that cold shower and do that thing that's uncomfortable, the reason why it's uncomfortable because we've never done it before.
Right.
And every time it's different, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's uncomfortable for us. So do we want to stay comfortable and stagnant, or do we want to go to the next level and grow and expand and be the person that we want to be and be the person that we want to be for our children, our friends, our family, and anybody that we can affect in this world? Because that's the beautiful thing. That's part of the journey. We don't want to stay small.
Right.
We've been already. We know what small feels like. We already all know
Yep.
that. We've been there, done that. That's no fun anymore.
It
Now
sucks.
it's yeah, exactly. It's time to propel, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna rock it. We already
Definitely.
are. I mean,
Right.
whatever part of the journey you're on right now, you are in the perfect place that you could ever be. My goodness, if you're watching this podcast right now, you're in your growth spurt. You're awakening.
Yes.
You are already becoming enlightened. I say that, but we all already are enlightened. We just need to remember who we
Yep.
are. That's all it is. It's all in here. We have the all-encompassing knowledge of everything.
Yep.
We just have to tap into it, let it in, flow, and be vulnerable.
Yep.
That's the beauty of it.
And let that
So,
fear and uncomfortableness drive you to the next step instead of hold you back.
yes, yes. Like I had mentioned earlier, just act when you're fearful about something, but you know it's something you need to do. Don't wait, because you will wait it out until there's no chance of having that opportunity again.
Yep.
So you got to do it now. It's now or never. Just
Yep.
do it. Just do it. Just do it. I've always told people that. When I knew that was a thing for me too. I didn't
Right.
always tell everybody that, but now that I know, if I just do it, we got to be like Nike. You just do it. We swoosh
Yep.
it.
Yep. Just do it and feel that release after, right? Because all that stress and you're thinking about it, and then it's done. And it's like, oh, if I just would have done that back when it popped in.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there are other opportunities, but it's harder the next time.
Yep. Because that
I
excuse
feel.
becomes easier.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, the chakra space and helping people heal with that isn't the only tool that you really lean into. You also use art. And
Mhm.
people haven't seen your art, they need to go check out your Facebook page, which we'll talk about at the end on how they can connect with you. But how does, I should say, using creativity and color and expression help to shift your energy really and help release emotion in a way that maybe talking about it alone can't do?
That's a great question. It's amazing because when we were children, we knew we were artists. We were creators. Whenever we would scribble on a piece of paper, we would joyfully run to our parents and be like, "Look what I did!"
On the
And we were
fridge.
so excited. Yes, exactly. And they pose. Most parents would put it on the fridge and frame it, whatever,
Yep.
or the teacher or whatever, and they'd be like, "Good job." And as we get older, it's like at school, there'd be, all these other kids that would be just a little bit better than you, but they weren't better than you at drawing. They just did it in a different way. And so we smushed that. And a lot of people say, "I'm not an artist. Oh my goodness, I couldn't do a creative anything. I can't draw a stick figure is everybody's thing. I couldn't draw a stick figure." And so I hear that often. And for me, for the creative part for me in helping people is it's all intuitive. Whenever I help people to understand how to create, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of paint pouring. So you pour a paint on canvas, couple different colors, and you literally let it pour off the canvas, and you do this to the canvas, or you take a blow dryer and you
Oh,
blow it
cool.
around, but it becomes this beautiful specimen, and you're like, "I did that." But your intuition and your flow and the paints flow, and you were working in conjunction with the energy and flow of the canvas and the paint and you, so we're all energy and we all created that.
Yep.
It's really cool. So there's another thing that I teach is like taking a blob of watercolor and putting a little blob of watercolor and adding some more little colors to it, and then let it dry. And what do you see in it? Because we all have looked at knots in wood, right? Like
Yep.
knotty pine or whatever, and you see the knot and you're like, "Oh, that looks like an alien head," or "That looks like a chicken," or "That looks like
Yep.
whatever. I see a face in there. We all see things.
Yep.
And so then you get to draw a little chicken or a little face inside of it. Whatever you see, that's creativity. And that's what I bring to the table with healing people through that portion of it. And color, you mentioned color, and chakras have colors. So each chakra has a different color. Your third eye is purple. Your heart space is green, my favorite color. I just chose green as my favorite color. And I'm like, when I learned about chakras, I'm like, that's why I love that,
Yep.
because I just love love. So anyway, each one has a color. And just like music, colors have vibration. When you see colors, that's why I love blue. I'm attracted to it. For
Yep.
some reason, that makes me feel really good. Why am I attracted to it? Because it has a vibration, just like a good song. I'm like, "Oh, that's a really good song. I love the way that sounds." It's all the same thing. So when you're using art, not many people understand or realize this, but when you're putting paint on a paper or a canvas or cutting out for a collage, because I'm going to be doing some stuff like that too. I mean, there's everything, but
Nice.
the colors and all the stuff that's intricately connected in there creates a song with color.
Nice.
And yeah, it's an orchestra. And when you look at those colors, it's appeasing to you. And what it is, it's appeasing your energy centers and it's hitting home and healing every single one of them as you create.
Beautiful.
And as you create, we all are creators. I love this because we all have created our lives. Up until now, Ceara, look, you have created this life for yourself,
Yep.
whatever it was along the way. And look at you now, this creation that you've developed from this podcast and your yoga and your coaching and everything else that we get to experience through you. You created that to help others.
Yep.
And a mom creates her life so that she can create a life for her children that is the best version of her to give the tools and gift them to her children and friends, family, whatever. I mean, it just, everybody can use this all over the place. So trying to think what else. Yeah. So so we create our lives. So we're already creators.
Yep.
So when it comes to creating something intuitively, because we've done that intuitively throughout our lives, we all are artists. Right. So when it comes to painting on a rock, a mandala, which is my next retreat, or, on a canvas or whatever. Nobody has to be an artist. You already are. You're a creator.
Yep.
So I love to be able to teach people that. And they're like, wow, I never knew I could create this. In my other retreats that I've had in the past, they're just mind blown with the things they take home with them because they didn't realize their potential.
Yep.
And it's healing. That's healing in itself. So
yeah, they just needed somebody who understands it to help unlock that for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you had
100%.
mentioned the chakra colors and connecting, like colors in the world, connecting with different chakra spaces. How can women use that awareness? And I think one of the best ways to get an understanding of that is through your book. But how can women use that awareness of colors to their chakras in their daily life?
So one thing that surprised me when I was going through my schooling, I think I went to like 4 or 5 different schools for energy work because I felt like I needed more incorporation in it. But one of the teachers that was there said to me, even if you wore red underwear that day to root your root chakra, it doesn't matter if you see it. It just matters if it's on you. And I was like, really? It just didn't sound like at the time I was still learning about chakras and everything. When like I said, I love blue and I'm wearing it right now. And it's like looking at myself in the video, I'm like, blue makes me feel really open and I feel more expansive today with this color on. Tomorrow it might be green. I love green too. But when you wear the colors that you're attracted to, it's because maybe that portion of your chakra system needs to have some healing there. So if you do research or read my book, research YouTube or whatever else and find out where the chakras are and what colors they are, kind of intuitively before you research it, if you don't know anything about it, say, well, what's a color that I'm attracted to in this moment? Because it could be a different color in that moment, because every moment you may need something different. So in this moment, what color comes to my mind? The first thing that comes to my mind, purple? Oh, purple. Okay. So, and then you go and check out where purple is in the chakra system. And that's your third eye. And, oh, I want to wear green. Okay. So, well, that's the heart chakra. The root chakra, which is, all the stuff from your childhood and grounding and your stability in your home space and all that other stuff. If red comes to mind, you need that. So even like a sticky note that is the color, put it in your pocket. It's amazing how energy works. It doesn't have to be seen with the eyes. It's known with the body. It's known with, and also stones. Another way of working with that is stones. It's amazing what they will do. There's a lot of people that might not understand or know that, but we already as humans have all the potential that we need. Sometimes we need a little bit of a boost. We need some help. And stones oftentimes have that. So I'd encourage anybody to go to a metaphysical store or a place where they sell stones and grab an amethyst, grab whatever. The first thing you want to grab is what your body needs. And then hold it and see if you feel any vibration or feel warmth or feel coolness or there's something that comes to your mind.
That's beautiful. And I like that you pointed out that it doesn't necessarily have to be something like, I'm physically looking at this teal cup right now. Like, it's what are you feeling? What's around you? And just leaning into that and don't fight it. Just let that emotion come or that feeling come, and then research it, right? Don't research it and then go pick up the rock and see what you feel, because you're going to project that. Do it in the
Mm-hmm.
reverse order and really just see what comes up for you.
Yep. Yep. Thank you for clarifying that, because that's a very important point as well. So, and also to add to that, and I was thinking about this, the fact that we enjoy a sunset and the fact that we enjoy the sunrise, the fact that we enjoy the color of the leaves, and it's like fall is so beautiful. It's
Yeah.
because the colors sing to us. It changes our whole ecosystem in our body. The contrast of the colors and everything else is what shifts our bodies. And oftentimes I'll be looking at a sunset or a sunrise, and I'm like, why do I love this so much? I don't understand. And it's like it can't be spoken. Like there's no
Nope.
words for it. It's like, yeah, there's no words for why. It just makes us feel really good.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, this is why it makes you feel good. Is because it's literally aligning and balancing you as a soul, as a human, as your chakras. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And just embrace it. Don't get caught up in trying to necessarily figure out that why. Just enjoy it. The why, you might get the why, like we said, down the road. You're going to understand why you went through these things to get where you are. So just embrace it. And as we go through all of our different stages, right, we talked or referenced a lot about like childhood and things we experienced to get here. But especially as women, we go through a lot of different seasons of our lives, right? We have,
Mm-hmm.
puberty and adolescence, maybe motherhood, career, perimenopause, menopause for a day, and then you're postmenopausal, right? It happens so fast.
Yep.
How does our energetic needs shift in each of these stages? And how can understanding our energies and our chakras help us to navigate through these seasons with more grace?
Understanding and honoring, like we talked about before, each stage, each part of it. You don't have to fully understand it to heal it. You just have to acknowledge it and allow for the healing to happen. And in every stage of development, we are still the same. Our chakras are still the same. It's the
Right.
resistance that is heavy on us. Like you said, our past has created these barriers for us, and the chakras always want to be in balance. And when they are in balance, our body is in balance. And these times in our lives, from, like you said, puberty to menopause, premenopause, all of the things, they're going to be heavier or harder if the resistance is there. So if we can balance our chakras and release those things, we would be able to process and get through these times a lot easier
Yep.
with flow. And it's interesting because in other cultures, there's no such thing as premenopause and menopause. Culture has created a very large resistance, especially in women, because of how we do it to ourselves, because other people told us this is how it's supposed to be. Our mothers, our grandmothers, and everybody else has said that you got to play small, or you got to be this person, or whatever. Again, doing their best with the tools that they had to offer us. But now it's a time for us to shift out of that mentality, because it shouldn't exist within us.
Yep.
It truly is just the balancing of our chakras and releasing the old, coming in with the new, and becoming who we truly are. And I'm not saying that there's no such thing as premenopause. I'm not saying there's no such thing as menopause, but I think it's harder because we have so much dense energy in us that we've been stuck and held on to and shoved down, because we didn't want to feel the feelings, and because we didn't want anybody to have to experience our pain, or we didn't want anybody to know that we were vulnerable.
Yep.
And so now it's time to just shed it. And once you shed it, you become revitalized and lighter, and you just become a new human.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, you work with a lot of people, but if we stay focused, on women, is there one chakra or energy center that you most often see blocked in women who specifically, let's say, are like midlife, right? So maybe that like 40 to 60 range when all that menopause business is happening. Is there one that you see more blocked than others?
It varies, but now that you say the 40, between that time frame, oftentimes I find the heart and the throat. Because people, women especially, they don't speak their truth because they don't know how, because they've smushed it all of their existence. And if they do speak out, it's usually the throat chakra is usually still imbalanced, but they speak a truth, not truth. They speak what they think other people need to hear instead of their own truth. And the heart chakra, so it's usually combined. It's usually the heart and the throat. The heart chakra, they've been broken. They haven't been able to be their authentic self. They're literally broken, and they just need to know that they're loved. They need to know that they can love themselves, and it's okay. It's not selfish, it's selfless.
Yes.
And then from that point, they get to speak their truth. And yeah, I find a lot of throat and heart chakra. And to show themselves love first is the biggest part of it. And you can actively do that starting today. Just say, I love myself. And one of the things that I love to gift people is just a small little exercise of holding your heart with your right hand and holding your stomach with your left. Close your eyes, take a deep breath into your left hand and say, I love myself. And just stay with that for just a couple minutes, if that, and you'll start to see lifting through your chakras. You're healing yourself when you hold them like this.
Yep.
Because I said earlier on that you got chakras in your palms too, so you can heal yourself like this.
And you said say that you love yourself. You didn't say think that you love yourself. What is the power behind speaking that out loud? Why is that important to voice that even in a room to yourself instead of just internalized and think it?
The power of the word, the power of the thought is so powerful, so powerful. And if you say that you are this, your subconscious can't be like, okay, well, we'll be that later on. No, I'm that now. I'm that right in this moment. I am that now. And you teach your subconscious, you teach yourself to be that in this moment. Like I said, the only place that you can shift yourself is in this present moment. You can't do it 2 seconds before, you can't do it 2 seconds after. It's in this moment that you can shift. So you want to say, I am this, I am that, I am love. Hold your heart space in your stomach. I am love. I am love. I love myself in this moment and forever forward. And that's the power of it.
We certainly talked about a lot today, but the one thing I love to do at the end of each episode is really leave our listeners with just a couple of quick takeaways. Certainly, I encourage you to go back and listen to the whole episode again, because you're gonna get something new every time. But what is one misconception about chakra healing that you wish more women understood?
Let me think for a second. I wish more women understood. Not hard work. We just did an example just then in this moment, holding your heart and your stomach area, those chakras down below. It shifts you in 2 seconds. Like literally, if you allow for it to happen with light and love, and you can say that with light and love, I am love, and you allow for things to flow through. You can even in that moment ask a question, and answers will either come in that moment or later on. So everything is instant. I mean, my goodness, we got internet and that's instant. We got AI now and that's instant. I mean, come on, if we can create things that are instant, we can do things within our bodies. The creators of these things have that ability as well. We are the creators. We get to do this. We can do anything in an instant. We are so powerful. We don't even understand how powerful, but I'm telling you, we can shift things like you wouldn't believe.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the biggest takeaway I would say is it's not hard. It's just acting now. Like I said, after this video, just shut everything off and say, I love me. I am love, and see how that feels to you. Then believe, and then go forward and just do more,
Yeah. And we gave a lot of examples of different things that you can do to balance your energy. But if you were to pick one, like what is one simple daily practice for energy balancing that women can start doing today, even if they only have the 5 minutes that they don't think they have?
Ooh, that's so easy. So I love grounding work. So, I mean, it's so simple. It's so profound, and you'll feel it in your body immediately. I mean, I can do it with you right now. All it is simply, I mean, you could do the heart and the stomach thing, but you sit in a chair. And do you want me to do this? I mean, do you want me to explain what it is right now for people?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not going to do the whole meditation, but this is how easy it is. You can sit in a chair, plant your feet on the floor without any shoes on, and you can have your hand on your heart and your belly or on your knees and relax your body. Take a couple deep breaths and say, okay, I'm going to release and let go of everything in my face. I'm going to relax my shoulders. I'm going to relax my back. I'm going to relax my arms. And then you just go down all the way through your whole body. Then you come back up to your heart space and you say, I have a light within my heart space, a white light. Okay. And you're going to breathe into that white space and you're going to make that light brighter and brighter and brighter. And as it gets brighter, it's filling up your whole body, your top of your head, your arms, your legs, everything, including your abdomen. Fill that abdomen because a lot of us have a lot of issues in our abdomen and you want to fill that bright light in that. I'm actually feeling it right now. I'm feeling like a little healing right now. It's amazing. So, and then what you're going to do is you're going to send that light down through the bottom of your spine and you're going to send it through the chair. You're going to send it through the floor. You're going to send it through the earth's crust. And then you're going to send it through to the earth's core, okay? And the earth is extremely healing. She wants to heal us. That's why she's been here for us all this time. I mean, we don't just ride this rock just for nothing. So
right.
so she has all this beautiful mother-like energy and you're going to ask to draw that energy up into that and literally sip it up like a straw. You're going to pull it up all the way through the earth's core, through the floor, through the chair, and up through your spine and into your body. And you're going to feel the love of the earth at this point.
Yep.
You're literally going to feel it through your body. Sit with it. Allow for that to happen within your body because that's pure love. And you're just going to do some breaths right there. And then you can hang out as long as you want until your kids come in and ruin it all. No,
Yeah, right. And there goes the peace and quiet.
but yeah, so like literally if you can remember all that or if you can go on YouTube and again, I'll try to post something so that we can all do it. But I teach this stuff at my retreats. I teach
Yep.
this stuff one-on-one and all the other tools because I want to empower people as much as possible to understand how simple it can be, like I said before.
Yep. It is. So when you were saying relax, like I could just feel myself like, all right, just let it go. And you almost feel yourself sinking in the chair. So if you truly give yourself over to it and say, I'm going to experience this, don't force it, but let it happen. To your point, it is going to be an instant feeling that you have.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can do this at any time. I mean, what did it take? Like 2 minutes for me to explain it?
Yeah.
You can sit with it longer, but literally you just were gifted from the earth all this energy and love, and you can just take that with you all day long. That's yours. You were gifted. It's not like a gift that's like sucked back out of you. You have it now. That's yours. It's always there. It's always available.
Yep.
So
awesome. If you could leave women with one message today, what would that message be?
You are loved more than you could ever imagine, and you are more powerful than you could ever imagine. The feminine is meant to be nurtured, not only the nurturer. And
beautiful.
We are always encompassed in love. And I feel like anybody that is ready to hear that just felt that.
Definitely.
I even felt that. I felt goosebumps. Because that's exactly that is our birthright. I love that. I've heard that before and I love that. It is our birthright to be happy. It is our birthright to experience this world in the best authentic version of ourselves. And you have the ability to build that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 final questions. They're not going to be super hard. The first one is, how can our listeners connect with you and learn more about your events?
So I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm also on TikTok.
Great.
You're going to find that one or the other is with my name or with my business, which is Awake Soul Studio. But I have a retreat coming up soon. I'm assuming that's your next question.
Yes, it is, because I will be there. Yep.
Yes, exactly. I'm so excited to have you. You don't even know.
Yep, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so yes, exactly. So I work out of Brunswick, Maine as well, do individual clients there. Also, at times I can also work with people in Portland, Maine as well. I don't really have an office there, but I rent a space, and I also rent a space in Brunswick, Maine for individuals. And so like we just said, as far as the retreat, I have a retreat coming up, one of many many that this is my first overnight one. So I'm really super excited about it. It's in a lodge in Bethel, Maine. And there's a hot tub, and there's going to be 6 to 8 people, women. We're going to have an amazing circle of beautiful souls there. And we're going to learn about how to create intuitively, like we talked about earlier, with the colors and the chakra colors and everything else. And then also do some healing work. And there's going to be a beautiful soul, Desiree Dubois. And so she's going to be there, and she's going to be painting stones for each individual that is going to show up to the retreat. Going to do a psychic medium reading for you as she paints a stone for you specifically, and she gifts that to you. So it's really cool. I met her not long ago. So yeah, there's that. Any other things that I missed? I'm trying to think.
I think that's primarily what we've talked about so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. We'll do a
Thank
little
you
bit
for
of yoga.
this. Oh yeah, we'll do
Yep.
yoga.
We'll do
Ciara's gonna
some
be
yoga.
there, so she's gonna do yoga.
I'll be there. So.
I love that. Oh, I'm so
Awesome.
happy. Oh, it's gonna be
Awesome.
great.
Well, Loni, I
Mhm.
want to thank you so much, not just for your time and for hopping on this podcast with me, but for everything that you do for yourself, for everybody else. You share and you gift this ability to us and help to remind us, we're not just a cog in a machine. We are a machine.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for all you do. Thank you for coming on here, and I can't wait for that retreat. It's going to be an amazing experience.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. And thank you so much for showing up. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, for the last few years, you've been showing up for people and
Thank you.
for right in this moment. I wouldn't be able to share what I have to share if it wasn't for you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, yes, thank you so much. Thank you to all our listeners who tuned in, and we will see you on the next episode of Mind Body Revolution.